Yo, I'm back. Welcome back. And I want to talk about dead rappers. And I want to take it all the way back to like the 90s when Tupac died and Biggie. Because, yeah, those was the two weirdest conspiracy murderer, murders, of black people or artists. And a couple of R&B artists, like Aaliyah and the list goes on. But I want to talk about rappers, and what they meant back then in the 90s. Because I grew up, a lot of us grew up off of Tupac. I mean, a lot of us grew up off Tupac. People like Wu-Tang, people like UGK, Outkast, all them folk, Good and Mob, did I say Nas? Nas, people like that, Busta Rhymes, like the East Coast, the West Coast, and then you got the South, but the South really wasn't, I can't say the South really wasn't doing nothing, but let's just say everybody was doing everything in their own little way. Well, New York, you know what I'm saying, was like considered like the Mecca of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like that's considered something like the Mecca. You know what I'm saying? Of hip hop. Like where hip hop was born, all of that. You feel me? So yeah, no disrespect to them folk, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause I grew up off a lot of that stuff, man. Like, oh man. I grew up off a lot of that, man. Or Run DMC them, or Fat Boys, and oh man, the list goes on, man. It goes on, man. Like Salt and Pepper, Tribe Called Quest, Common Sense them. It's a lot. And the same thing to go for the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, all of them. Mind me when we talking about like hip hop. So, I was on all of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was on all of it. You feel me? Like, for real, like Spice One, Too Short, E40, you know what I'm saying? Like MC8, all them folk, man, like Bloods and Crips. I was on all that, man, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, then you come back to the South, you got people like Outkast and Good and Mob. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got people like UGK. You know what I'm saying? You got people like 8 Ball, MJG, them, Crime Boss, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? List goes on, man. Like, what them folk, Project Pat, them, 666 Mafia, Master P. Man, the list goes on, man. Mystical. The list goes on in the South, man. For real. The list goes on in the South. But yeah, like I said, like when it came to Tupac was like I don't know, he was like a big brother, like, you know what I'm saying? Tupac was like a big brother. Like, don't get me wrong and no disrespect, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, to a lot of people who I came up, listening to, schooling me on the game, how to do this, how to do that, you know what I'm saying? Amongst my people, amongst my friends and my family, the only way I learned was outside, you know what I'm saying? Was through the was outside, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't outside in the streets, it was through music. So when you in the streets, guess what? You're gonna listen to music. As long as you listen to the right music. You know what I mean? So, But yeah, back to Pac them, when that era came, Pac was like a big brother, man. You know what I'm saying? The music he made, the messages behind his music. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really taught me a lot. And then he actually really stood for it too. Like, actually stood on business, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them rappers did back then. Y'all already know, man. Y'all know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is. If you from the old school, man, if you from the 80s, man, you from the 90s, boy, you know what time it is for real. You know what I'm saying? But hey, if you survive the 80s and the 90s, one love, you feel me? Cause we all know how crack took over and all of that. You feel me? We all know that. And how we got, you know what I'm saying, caught up. Mamas and daddies got caught up on it, or hell, a lot of us got caught up selling it. So, y'all, yeah, everybody already know how that go. But yeah, man. Like Pac, man, you know what I'm saying? It was more than a message with Pac. I mean, for real, if you would sit back, get high, listen to his music, you know what I'm saying? He taught the real. He taught the real, but like I said, no disrespect to nobody else, but man, Pac taught the real. He spoke the real, and he stood for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know one rapper out here today that shot police. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. But is it a conspiracy of how Tupac died? Of how Biggie died? Of how Eazy-E died? And so on, you know what I'm saying? People like Nipsey Hussle. People like, these new up and coming rappers. You know what I'm saying? Triple X, Extortion, Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke, and the list goes on. Mo 3, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? Bake Roll Fresh. Is it a conspiracy? Do the record labels at the end of the day got anything to do with it? Because for number one, yeah, back then thing was different. I mean, it ain't too much different than it is now. I mean, but back then we knew what to do. You know what I mean? We knew how to move back then. A lot of us knew how to move back then. You know what I'm saying? The code or whatever. A lot of people now, I don't know, a lot of folk nowadays, yeah, they got, they got the code, but they got the swag, but it kind of throwed off. The way I feel, you know what I'm saying? Kind of throwed off a little bit, the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because of how they changed up the music, the frequencies in the music and all of that. So yeah, it's a little softer now, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that a person ain't real or a person ain't out here trying to feed his family, but I mean, it's, if you gonna do something, man, it's a certain way on how to do that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta go out here doing all this, showing out, and you ain't gotta do all that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about getting your money, woo, taking care of your folk, taking care of your friend, taking care of your family, taking care of yourself. and you know, you go home, you live to see another day. Yeah, I mean, if you are in certain places where you go, you can't wear a certain color, or if you get caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time. Not saying that can happen to you, but 9 times out of 10, if you just do that, and if you live by code, cause Miami now codes are different in every state. Like in LA, you can't go nowhere wearing this, or you can't go nowhere wearing that. You know what I'm saying? And places like Chicago and all that, it somewhat might be the same. But you know what I'm saying? You know, it's based off, you know, hoods or whatever. Same, you know, pretty much same thing everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just people got different codes that they go by at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? They just got certain code that they go by at the end of the day. But like I was saying, I mean, like you really didn't have too many rappers back then showing off their jewelry, money. I mean, you really didn't see all that in video like that. I mean, you seen like cars, and you seen like the girls, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what you seen back in the 90s or whatever. Niggas wasn't doing it like that, you know what I'm saying? Like showing off this, showing off that, all in the videos and you know, all that old stuff right there. So, you know, yeah, back then was a different era. I missed the 90s, you know what I'm saying? I missed the 90s, but yeah, back then was a different era than it is now. Like in the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, 2000s and 20s and you know, 14s and 15s and all of that, you know, time really done changed. But yeah, man, I wanted to know if it's a conspiracy behind these people's deaths. Do they really got street beef like that? You know what I'm saying? Cause back then, yeah, you now way before the 90s, like the 80s or whatever, when people used to, you know what I'm saying, battle wax on track or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really wasn't like that. It was actually really about battling, you know what I'm saying? Seeing who can freestyle the best and all of that. You feel me? Yeah, man, come on. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. But when it went to the 90s, I guess things did get a little serious, you know, but not too much. Because then again, like I say, I still believe like Tupac got one of the greatest diss tracks of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hit 'Em Up. You feel me? Like, I think that's still one of like the greatest diss tracks of all time. For real, to this day. For real, bro. And you know, like, I don't know, like, in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, things just got a little serious. You know what I'm saying? Because of how the music changed. You know what I'm saying? So is it the same thing going on then that what's going on now, but without the gangster? You know what I'm saying? But without the gangster. Because a lot of these new rappers, man, they not gangster like that, man. They not gangster like Ice Cube, them, and you know what I'm saying? Like the Ice Cubes and the Dr. Dre's and you know, all the Mobb Deeps and all them folks like that. You know what I mean? I don't think them folk gangster like that. Now, they might, when they get that little money, I ain't saying everybody. Now, I ain't saying all new rappers, but pretty much all of them, like majority of them, man. You know what I'm saying? Like majority of them, they ain't never been through nothing like this. You know, they ain't, them folks ain't never went through nothing. You know, like a Cube, them and all that. And then actually putting it in their rhymes, and make it sound so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And you got some real rappers out there like that, man, who know how to tell some good stories, man. You know what I'm saying? Like people like Nas and Tupac them, you know what I'm saying? Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Those are the greatest, man. You know, the greatest poets or whatever. And not a lot of them were greatest poets. They were greater actors and stuff. Great actors and all of that. You know what I mean? They were great actors and all of that. Especially Tupac. I don't think we had the chance to see Biggie Smalls play in the movie, but I think he played in a couple cameos and stuff like that, like on TV shows that we had. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 90s or whatever. But as you can see, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird because they killed Eazy-E. I think, Eazy-E, what year that was? Was it 95? I think Eazy-E died in 1995. Then Tupac, Eazy-E, I think Eazy-E was like 30 years old when he died. Then the next year, in 1996, Tupac died. And I think Tupac was like, 25? And then I think like a couple of months later, or so I should say, like the next year later, Biggie Smalls died. And I think that was like 97. And I think he died at the age of 25. Or I think he died at the age of 24. He was either 24 or 25. I think he was 24. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. I think it's just some type of government thing, man. Cause if you notice, you know what I'm saying, how Tupac was, or his background or whatever, you know, like how he, you know what I'm saying, how his folk came from the Black Panthers and, you know what I'm saying, all of that. So you got to take account of how home was raised, you feel me? And his music, you feel me? His music was powerful. I mean, he told the truth. I mean, it's a lot of folks out there that told the truth, but you know what I'm saying? He just flat out just told how it was, you feel me? And a lot of folk didn't like that, you feel me? And so, like I was saying, go back to that rap battle type stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like that, was the Tupac and Biggie a start or something, you know, like was that the end of hip hop then, or was that the end of rap then? You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, bro, you got like people like Young Dolph, you know what I'm saying, or Nipsey Hussle, all these folk. I mean, they just dead. You know what I'm saying? They shot. They done got shot and all of that. You know, over some beef. You know what I'm saying? All that old Yo Gotti beef and what, you know, alleged Yo Gotti. I ain't really want to call no name, but allegedly. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. You know, like, I'm talking about a lot of people started dying. A lot of people that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of young cats. You know what I'm saying? They just done died. So, you know what I'm saying? So, was Biggie and Tupac was the start, was the end of rap. Maybe they put an end to rap. Now, I know certain people still doing their thing, but yeah, you ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't, you know what I'm saying, you really ain't got no fan base like that because of these two people ain't here no more. Cause after a while, people gonna get tired of hearing just you coming out, you know what I'm saying? You trying to tell me you the realest nigga or whatever? Nah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going for that one. But at the same time, no disrespect. You feel me? Just, you know what I'm saying? Understand where I'm coming from. You feel me? Understand where I'm coming from. So, you know, was it through the government? or do these people actually have some real street beef going on? And they when they get shot and when they get killed, they blame it on the streets. He had beef in the streets and all of that and all of this and woo and all of that. So what about the record labels? You know what I'm saying? What about them? Do anybody sit there and think about them folk? How they gonna sit back and collect money or you know what I'm saying? Knowing, they artists could be in danger and they ain't doing enough to try to protect their artists like somewhere like they probably did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So on something like that. And everybody from back in the day ain't dead. I just feel like they protected by a higher power. And when I mean like a higher power, I don't mean God, because there's a lot of people out here to try to play God. You feel me? You understand where I'm coming from? Not the God, not the Most High, but a higher God. You know what I'm saying? A higher power or whatever. If you know what I'm saying. I ain't got to keep repeating myself, but yeah, you got a lot of people that ain't dead. You know what I'm saying? That's still alive to this day. Like, why Michael Jackson had to die? Why Prince had to die? You know what I'm saying? I think about that all the time. Why don't folk had to die like that, but these folk right here still living? You know what I'm saying? And another thing, what I'm saying is, like I'm saying, these people dying by numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't heard, like I said, if you don't heard of gematria, then you know what I'm talking about, how these folk be dying, like by the numbers, how the numbers add up and what so, et cetera, et cetera. I ain't saying, like I said, nobody can't die for no natural cause, but it's too obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's just too obvious. And it's a lot of things that they do by the numbers. It ain't gotta be associated with death. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be associated with death. These folks just do a lot of things by the numbers. And yeah, I don't want to talk too long, but yeah, man, I think it's something really weird going on with the music industry that's been going on, but a lot of things stopped when they said, or like, a lot of good things stopped when, cause rappers used to be, them folks used to get money back in the day. You could slang tapes and CDs out your cars like it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Until, they tried to up the technology or whatever. And I think, like they say, what Tupac was doing, or what he tried to do, was bring everybody together, you know what I'm saying? Like, producers and rappers or whatever, probably mainly producers and stuff like that. They try to get together and establish their own distribution company, like a, black distribution company or whatever, but word got back to the wrong person or whatever, and that's when all hell broke loose for the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the rap game. Especially for that. Yeah, especially for the rap game. And a lot of bullshit too for the R&B game, cause you ain't even got the same R&B people out here, man. You come on, bro. You ain't got no more Jodeci's, ain't no more Keith Sweats, ain't no more H-Town, ain't no more none of that no more. Them folk, you know what I'm saying? Either dead or like, you know, they got messed up mentally or whatever in the head or you know, something like that. So you know, you ain't even really got no real R&B out here right now. So yeah, you know, I think when word got out that how they was gonna try to start like their own distribution, you know how I got back to the higher up or whatever. I think they that's when all the trouble started with music. You know what I'm saying? All the 360 deals and all of that. That's when I felt like, in another part, that's what I felt like, you know what I'm saying, what kind of ended rap music or something like that, because a lot of them cats, man, ain't finna sign them type of deals like that. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, I mean, you actually had some real street cats, man. You know what I'm saying? Back then, for real. Even though if they did have beef, like I said, it wasn't really. I mean, you probably weren't gonna get killed for it. I mean, like, far as music. Now, I ain't talking about like some actual street shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about nothing like. I'm talking about far as music. And you know, nah, it wasn't like that. Hell nah, it wasn't like that. I mean, you know, they probably had a little beef or whatever, but you know, it went. You know, that's why I said, you know, Tupac and Biggie, them were the main two. And Eazy-E, you know what I'm saying? Eazy-E, them were the main three that just died mysteriously. Man, we all know what they said about Eazy-E. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even finna get into all that. Y'all already know about that, so. But the Tupac and Biggie, I mean, like, that's weird, man. Even though there's some people out here today that's, you know what I'm saying, who they trying to charge or who they trying to connect to Tupac murder. I mean, like, shit, man. If ain't nobody came out and said I killed that mother, if ain't nobody came out and said I killed them, then it ain't solved. You feel me? Unlike, I think, Biggie's murder, I think they actually had him, but still though, you know what I'm saying? Still, I feel like all of it was government, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Even to this day, right now, but in a different way though. You know what I mean? I don't know if the government gotta work that hard these days. You feel me? Because, you know, to knock these folks off, you know, it might be some street stuff. You never know. You never know, because shit, all they want is some money, some weed, some, you know, money, weed, pills, liquor, you know what I'm saying? Houses, cars, women. That's all they want. Clothes. And man, they got the weirdest dress code these days. You feel me? They got the weirdest dress codes. Like, they be, you know what I'm saying? Wow, they got the weirdest dress code for artists, for a rapper these days, for real. Niggas coming out of there with you know, with wearing dresses and all that shit, painting your nails and you know, that shit weird as hell. It's a weird time we in. Only because that's what they making these people do. You feel me? I mean, like, yeah, like I was saying, thing was going on back then, but not how they going, not how it's going on now. You feel me? It ain't like how it's going on now. Ain't nowhere near. I mean, you had more realer people out back then. Shit, Luke Skywalker, or all them folk, man. You know all that. You know all that was the booty shaking days back then. You know, that were the club days back then. Shit, that shit when Luke was out back in what, the 80s and shit. What, 88 maybe? Shit, 87, 88, 89, all that, and you know, and stuff like that, man. You know, Kilo and all them folk. You know what I'm saying? All them, you know, that was the man, those were the good old days, for real. Those were the good old days, for real, bro. That's why, man, I don't even listen to none of this. Oh, man, I don't listen to none of this new music like that. Some of it alright. Some of it is alright, for real. Some of it alright, but most of it, I don't listen to it. Most of it, I don't even listen to it. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, man. So you back to you know, like the music industry and how them folk be dying like that. How, you know, how these folk, how we got, you know, how all these rappers be dying and getting shot and all of that. I mean, like, it gotta be some type of connection with something, cause everybody dying or getting shot. Pretty much everybody done died getting shot. A shooting, you know what I'm saying, or a drive-by shooting. So it got to be some type of connection somewhere where, you know, like these people killing these people on purpose. I mean, to get you out the way. You feel me? Get you out the way. Like I said, back in the 80s, it wasn't even really like that. But when it started getting into the 90s, like I said, I wonder if, like, you know, like Eazy-E and Dr. Dre done had beef back then. You feel me? Eazy-E and Dr. Dre done had beef. So, was that the start? You feel me? Was that the start to the end of hip hop, the end of rap? And then you come along, then you got Tupac and Biggie. You see what I'm saying? And then on and on, you know what I'm saying? On and on. People start dying because shit, boy, you got to get out the way, boy. You got to get out the way. But you got to go. Everybody want to be the best, you know what I'm saying? You know, and hey, if you ain't pushing a certain car, and if you in the industry, if you ain't got a certain chain, if you ain't got a certain woman around you or whatever, you know, you got to go. You know, you got to go. In that game, that, you know, I think it's more messed up now because you got a lot of people who ain't actually from the streets like that and want to be killers or whatever just because they got a lot of money or whatever, just because the record label done fronted them some money and gave them a little money or whatever. Yeah, you might be talented, but you really not. You really ain't even about that life like that. You feel me? So I think it's even worse now. You know what I'm saying? I think it's even worse now. But yeah, man, y'all, I don't want to hold y'all up or nothing like that. But yeah, man, y'all tell me what y'all think, man. You know what I'm saying? On the level of rap, hip hop, and is it dead or what? Because now y'all letting everybody come up in there and you know what I'm saying, acting like they hip, you know what I mean, hip hop or you know what I'm saying, can rap or whatever. You know, white folks, white boys and all that. You know what I'm saying, with tattoos all over their face and all that old, you know, crazy ass shit. Crazy ass, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. You know, did it start from Eazy-E and that Dr. Dre beef? You know what I'm saying? And that Tupac type, Biggie Small type beef? etc., etc. Did it start from that? You know what I'm saying? Like the end of rap, the end of real rap, the end of real rap, because I think we was getting played on each other, man, by the record labels. You know what I'm saying? One record label saying this, and another record label saying that, and that really feuded. The media saying this, cause back then we ain't, you know what I'm saying? Think about it, we had social media out back then, back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, would it be like this? I don't know. I can't say. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure, yeah, niggas were wilding back then, you know what I'm saying? Getting a little money, woo, 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 woo. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but like I said, it ain't to an extent to how it is now. In the new age, because we got all this technology, we got all this, people just want money, jewelry, car, clothes, man. One woman is enough for me, one house is enough for me, and shit, one car is enough for me. But one thing I can say, I can never get enough of that money, though. You can never get enough of that money. You know what I'm saying? You can never get enough of that. But, yeah, man, y'all tell me what y'all think, man, for real, about stuff like that right here, man, for real, cause it's serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Like how things done changed, you feel me? In the rap game, man, in the music game, man. We ain't got nobody to look up to, man. Your kids ain't got nobody to look up to or none of that. I always go back to my OGs, you know what I'm saying? I always go back to my OGs, you know what I'm saying? One love, you feel me? One love to all my OGs, boy, for real. Musically and goddamn in the street, you feel me? So, by one love. So yeah, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that, man. And I'm out, man.